In no particular order, here's a list of the most expensive substances on Earth. Number 10. Rhino horn. Rhino horn is a prized horn that obviously comes from the rhinoceros. Rhinos are unfortunately killed for their horns, and then the horns are sold on the black market. Rhinoceros horns are used in traditional medicines in parts of Asia and for dagger handles in Yemen and Oman. Contrary to popular belief, Vietnam is actually the largest market for rhino horns instead of the Chinese market. By weight, rhino horns cost as much as gold on the black market. In Vietnam, the powdered horn is inhaled by some of the wealthy as a status symbol because rhino horn is believed by some to have aphrodisiac properties. Hold up. Instead of traditional nose beers, these dudes sniff rhino horn? Anyways, in traditional Chinese medicine, rhino horn is considered an effective medicine, sometimes prescribed for fevers and convulsions. I hope I don't need to tell you guys the efficacy of rhino horn for any of these applications. In 2012, rhino horn peaked in price at about $65,000 a kilogram. It supposedly has fallen significantly since then, although it still remains many times more valuable than elephant ivory. Number 9. Truffles. A truffle is a highly prized mushroom that's foraged by special truffle hogs who root for them in the dirt. Italian white truffles are very highly esteemed and are the most valuable truffles on the market. The white truffle market in Alba, Italy is busiest in the months of October and November when the truffle fair takes place. In 2009, tuber magnatum truffles sold for over $14,000 per kilogram. White truffles are only available a couple of months of the year, and because of their high price and their pungent aroma, truffles are used sparingly. White truffles are generally served raw and shaved over steaming buttered pasta, salads, or fried eggs. Even though I just told you guys about truffles going for over $14,000 a gram, the price does vary according to the season. The November 2016 to January 2017 truffle season in Alba saw a drop of 30% in prices, where you could have bought a gram of truffles for as little as $1.50 a gram. I guess it's about that time to splurge on some white truffles. Number 8. PAINITE. PAINITE is a very rare mineral found in Myanmar by British mineralogist and gem dealer Arthur Payne in the 1950s. When it was confirmed as a new mineral species, the mineral was named after him. Not bad for a day's work, right? PAINITE has an orange-red to brownish-red color similar to topaz because of trace amounts of iron. The crystals are naturally hexagonal in shape, and not many have been cut into faceted gemstones. The discovery of a new locality in northern Myanmar in 2002 led to the recovery of several thousand crystals and fragments. Nearly complete crystals remain few in number, and high-quality facet materials are still quite rare, however. PAINITE's price can reach $300,000 per gram, or a whopping $60,000 per carat. It's so rare, many people don't even know that it even exists. Number 7. Gold. Do I really need to go into what gold is? Nah. Historically, the value of gold was rooted in its relative rarity, easy handling, easy smelting and fabrication, and of course, its distinctive color. In 2015, it was declared that a total of 186,700 tons of gold is in existence above the ground. The world consumption of new gold produced is about 50% in jewelry, 40% in investments, and 10% in industry. As of July 2017, gold is priced at roughly $40 per gram. Wearing gold is something that will basically never go out of style. Gold leaves, flakes, and powders are sometimes also used to decorate food or drinks. Before you guys go out and buy food with gold on it, do know that gold leaves are completely flavorless, so basically you're just getting gold on food for looks or status. Apparently you can order a package of 25 leaves or so for less than $50 online, but if you want some extra shine on your plate, get the gold flakes. You can get a gram for $250 for those times you really got to show off like Money Mayweather. Number 6. Plutonium. Plutonium is a radioactive, metallic, and toxic chemical element discovered in 1934. Trace amounts are actually found in nature, although its discovery was in a laboratory environment. Unlike most metals, it's not a good conductor of heat or electricity. It has a relatively low melting point of 1,184 degrees Fahrenheit and an unusually high boiling point of almost 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It has only two main uses, as a source of nuclear energy and as a source of nuclear weaponry. Both plutonium-239 and plutonium-241 can sustain a nuclear chain reaction, leading to applications in nuclear weapons and nuclear reactors. The Fat Man bombs used in the Trinity nuclear test in July 1945 and the bombs used on Nagasaki in August 1945 had plutonium cores. Plutonium costs around $4,000 per gram, which may sound like a lot, but it's actually pretty affordable for its rarity and, of course, for its application. Number 5. Saffron. Have you guys ever had saffron before? Saffron is one of the world's most expensive spices by weight and is native to Southwest Asia. However, it was probably first cultivated in or around Greece. Actually, the documented history of saffron cultivation spans more than 3,000 years. Saffron isn't all of the same quality and strength. The age of the saffron is a factor, as well as what parts of the flower is made into spice. Saffron from Iran, Spain, and Kashmir is classified into various grades according to the relative amounts of red stigma and yellow styles it contains. The styles and stigmas, called threads, are then collected and dried. To glean 1 pound of dry saffron, the harvest of 50 to 75,000 flowers is required. That sounds like a lot of work, but surprisingly, only around 40 hours of labor are needed to pick 150,000 flowers. Wow, that's a little over a flower a second. Saffron prices at wholesale and retail rates can range all the way from $500 to a whopping $5,000 per pound, depending on quality. Someone tell Future to hold some saffron to his ear for the gram. Number 4. Diamonds. Diamonds have the highest hardness of any bulk material. Many diamonds are clear, but as I'm sure many of you guys know, diamonds come in many colors, such as yellow, red, and pink. Most natural diamonds are formed at high temperature and pressure at depths of 87 to 118 miles in the Earth's mantle. Exposure of carbon-bearing materials to high pressure is needed to make diamonds. The formation of natural diamond requires very specific conditions. Big diamonds are very rare, and only 20% of all diamonds are fit for jewelry. The most familiar uses of diamonds today are for jewelry or as industrial abrasives for cutting hard materials. 4 characteristics known informally as the 4 C's are now commonly used as the basic descriptors of diamonds, which are carat, cut, color, and clarity. Prices for diamonds vary according to the 4 C's. A huge diamond known as the Pink Star broke records earlier this year to become the most expensive diamond ever sold at auction. The 59.6 carat diamond was bought for $71.2 million in Hong Kong. Number 3. Jade. Jade is an ornamental rock, mostly known for its strong green color, which is featured prominently in ancient Asian art. Jade is actually a generic term for 2 different gemstones, nephrite and jadeite. Although deep and bright green jadeite is better known in Europe, for most of China's history, jade has come in a variety of colors, and white mutton fat nephrite is the most highly prized gemstone. It's been known to humans for over 7,000 years, and in prehistoric times it was used to make tools and weapons because jade is actually very tough. Chinese people see it as representing good health and long life. During the Han Dynasty, the wealthiest Chinese noblemen were sometimes buried in jade suits made from hundreds of small jade tiles linked together. Jade suits? We're actually talking about jade suits here. Who's going to be the first rapper rocking a jade suit? There's no actual jade index that gives a price per ounce like there is for gold or platinum, because the quality of jade can differ greatly. But like anything else, the higher the quality, the higher the value. Ounce for ounce, the finest jade has become more valuable than gold. With the most prized nuggets of mutton fat, jade are currently fetching $3,000 an ounce, a tenfold increase from a decade ago. Number 2. CALIFORNIUM 252. Californium is a radioactive metallic chemical element that was first synthesized in 1950 at UC Berkeley. The discoverers named the new element after the university and the state. Californium-252 has a number of specialized applications as a strong neutron emitter, and each microgram of fresh californium produces 139 million neutrons per minute. This makes californium useful as a neutron startup source for some nuclear reactors and as a portable neutron source for neutron activation analysis to detect trace amounts of elements in samples. Neutrons from californium are employed as a treatment of certain cervical and brain cancers where other radiation therapy is ineffective. In 2016, there has been only 8 grams of californium-252 produced in the world, and 40 milligrams is produced annually. No one actually buys californium by the gram. Californium is bought by the microgram. The Atomic Energy Commission sold californium-252 to industrial and academic customers in the early 1970s for $10 per microgram. So even though it's really $27 million per gram for today's prices, thankfully only need a few micrograms needed for most purposes, which works out to $27 per microgram. Number 1. Antimatter. In particle physics, antimatter is a material composed of the antiparticle to the corresponding particles of ordinary matter. For example, a proton has positive charge while an antiproton has negative charge. A collision between any particle and its antiparticle leads to their mutual annihilation, which basically means all hell breaks loose. The consequence of annihilation is a release of energy available for something amazing. Matter and antimatter reactions have practical applications somehow in medical imaging, and the reactions have also been considered as a trigger mechanism for nuclear weapons. Isolated and stored antimatter could even be used as a fuel for interplanetary or interstellar travel. Well then, scientists claim that antimatter is the costliest material to make. In 2006, it was estimated that $250 million could produce 10 milligrams of positrons. That's 10 milligrams. This is equivalent to $25 billion per gram. Really though, who's going to pay for it to make this stuff? Here's what's next.
In 2002, when 19-year-old Michael Carroll won the UK National Lottery, he garnered something of a celebrity status. Carroll won close to £10 million, or just over $14 million US dollars. His antics garnered him nicknames such as the Lotto Lout or the King of Chav.